very nice to have everybody here. Um, what I'd like everybody to do first is to check in with how you're feeling right now. And so stop for a moment and just, if you're comfortable, close your eyes. And if you prefer to take off your camera, feel free to do that as well. If that feels more comfortable for you, that's perfectly fine. But close your eyes and just check in with where you are. So this session is particularly about grounding and being grounded and what that means for you. So grounded for most of us is something about feeling centered in our center, being able to access our whole body, not just our head, being able to be in our truth, our own truth, as opposed to perhaps the fears that are going around about us, being able to know what we need and what we want, being able to ask for those things, being able to accept what's going on. And just kind of check in with yourself about where you are in that type of process at the moment. And give yourself a score out of 10 for that. So kind of 0 being, I don't even know what those words mean, Gay, up to 10 being, yeah, I think I'm 100% there. And even if you're 100% there, give yourself a 10, because you may well find at the end of this, you're at a 12 out of 10. So check in with how your body's feeling. How much movement you feel you have available to you. How comfortable you are in your body, how comfortable you are in your seat. If you've got any aches or pains. And then once you've got all that, we're going to do the brain gym process called PACE, which is just 4 of the movements. And these movements help us to get into our best possible place at the moment. So help us to get more positive, active, clear, and energetic. Because when we're like that, we're going to be in our best place to do whatever it is that we're going to be needing to do. So let's do that first. And we start off with water. So that's why you need your drink of water. And I don't know about you guys there, but certainly up here, it's cool. So it's getting harder to drink water. So it's a good idea in terms of one of the things I want you to do today is to start to, on your piece of paper, write down as they occur to you, things that help you to feel grounded. Because this is going to be your kind of go-to list that you can stick up somewhere. And when your head's spinning off out into the ether, as it does for all of us at times, you can have a look at it and go, hang on a minute, is there anything on there that I can do right now to bring myself back down? So a lot of people, a drink of water is, and if it's cold, think about, do you want to have hot water instead? Or, like it's about thinking about if you're not doing something. So water is one of those things that I always find, because the water this time of year coming out of the tap up here is iced. And I don't even like iced water in summertime. So I will always add a bit of warm water to it, or have it, somehow like that, so I can have warm water, because otherwise I just won't drink it and I'll just ignore it. So Start off with a drink of water and notice if you feel thirsty. If you do feel thirsty, you probably are a little bit dehydrated. So just as a note to self. Then we're going to get up and we're going to do some brain jumps. So let me just adjust this a little bit so you can see me over here. If you already know what you're doing, just go right ahead. But we're going to first of all do something called brain buttons. So we're going to come up, come down from if you can see, I'm just underneath my eyes, and I'm just going to slide my hands down to just underneath my collarbone. So there's two little dips there, and you just need to be somewhere around there. Other hand on your belly button, and you just give those a bit of a rub. So these brain buttons, we talk about them being for clarity. They stand for clarity. And our eyes get very stressed at the moment. These are particularly good for our eyes being able to work together. And so just to get those eyes working more comfortably, find a horizontal line somewhere in the room and just let your eyes go back and forth across them. Breathing and relaxing. And when you've done one side, come back and do the other side. You don't always have to come down from your eyes. If you already know where your brain buttons are, just go straight for them. It's just a good kind of placeholder. And the eyes again. We're spending so much time on the computer that a lot of people are getting a lot of visual stress. And so these are a great handy little tool to have to keep the eyes relaxed. And once you've done a bit of that, a little bit of cross crawl. So cross crawl is basically just crossing over your body. That's it. So you can do elbow to knee, and you're just crossing over, getting the body and the brain activated. You can do any kind of movements that are cross-lateral, and cross-lateral, I mean different, opposite sides of the body moving. So a John Travolta is, opposite sides to the back, to the front, to the sides, however you feel. And you just do a little bit of that. And that gets us feeling more active and awake, wakes everything up. And once you feel like you've done enough of that, then some hookups. Now you might like to stand up, you might like to lean against something or stand up. You don't want this to be challenging. So if you cross your legs and you're wobbly, then it's better to lean back or to lie down or sit down. But you're just going to cross one leg in front of the other comfortably, and then hands together, and then flip over so your back of your hands are together, one over the top of the other, clasp your hands and up and under. And these are called hookups. And this is for helping us to be as positive as we can in the moment. Bring us back into ourselves. And just have a few breaths. In yoga, that exhalation on the out breath is the way to relax and, calm the whole parasympathetic nervous system, move into that, calm down everything. So really emphasize that out breath. Don't worry about the in breath at all. Just allow that to come in, relax out. And once you feel like you have that, And you're feeling nice and relaxed. You can take your feet apart, your fingertips together, and just a few more breaths. And if you empty your lungs really completely as you breathe out, you'll find that the next breath will just come in automatically and will fill right down into your belly, which again helps with the parasympathetic nervous system, turns off and regulates the sympathetic nervous system, which is our fight or flight. Because at the moment, a lot of us are stuck in that place, or it's running subliminally because of the uncertainty. So once you've done that, you can come back, have a seat. And before we do anything else, I just want you to check in with yourself at how you're feeling after you do that, after you've done that. So come back and think about whether anything has come up for you, because for some of us, you know, we run around in this busy, busy world and we do some pace and it's like, oh, I was kind of pushing that to the side. And if you were, then that's a good thing for it to come up, and make a note of it, because that's something that's stopping that grounding process from happening. Notice how your body's feeling. Notice how more connected you're feeling on all the levels, physically, mentally, emotionally. And start to check in again about that concept of grounding. And start to get specific about what it is that you need particularly to feel more grounded. So feel the weight of yourself in your body, and take a couple of breaths in, a big breath out. And then I want you to check in with your body and just notice somewhere in your body a place that feels really comfortable right now. It might be in your belly, it might be in your heart, it might be somewhere in your back, it could be in your feet, doesn't matter where it is. But somewhere that you feel a sense of centeredness and a sense of grounding. And I want you to put your hands on that space. And just breathe into that. And as you breathe into it, you're going to find that it's connected to some place in nature It might be by the beach, might be in a cave somewhere, might be on a rock. But that place is connected to somewhere where there is that same feeling. And now I want you to really feel yourself there. Feel yourself grounding into that space. Feel yourself becoming that whole space. Becoming part of the earth. And you are that space, and that space is you. And you have that sense of grounding and power of that space, that presence of that space in you. And you are it, and it is you. Then, when you're ready, come out of that and have a little look at your list and see if there's anything else that place of wisdom wants you to add on that list. Perhaps a symbol. You might get a symbol that you can add. That's just your symbol to remind you that this place is in you all the time, all the time. So we can access that anytime.